All right, what's going on, everybody? Want to provide you with an overview of what it looks like to create our eye hook here, right? So we got a sweep detail here. We have a threaded version. They give us some more confusing measurements. In short, what we're going to do is we're going to draw this question mark piece, okay, as a two-dimensional sketch. And then we're going to take a 1.5 millimeter circle and we're going to sweep that all the way around. It looks a lot harder than it actually is, but I'm hoping this is a good resource for you to actually understand how sweep works. All right, so here we go. Just like the drawing shows, we're going to start on this face. Oh, we're going to start on this front view. And I am going to start by sketching that 6 millimeter diameter circle, right? I'm actually going to go above the I'm going to go above the origin because I think that will help. It should be relatively small, right? So what I will do is you could play the scroll game, or you could actually use a coincidence. Coincidence is definitely the better way to go. Then from the bottom of the circle, right, to the point, I'm going to have an 8 millimeter dimensioned line. So I'm going to head back here, and I am going to make an 8 millimeter dimension line. So I'm just going to draw a line, hit 8, hit enter. Now I have an 8 millimeter line, right? So if I go back to the drawing, you can see that there's a 30-degree angle, right? If you look at the part itself, it's not actually, like, it's cut right here, right? We're going to sweep the circle all the way through. So we need there to be separation. So I'm going to provide an opportunity for my sweep function to actually work. So I'm just going to call this the little pizza slice, right? Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to make that pizza slice, and then we'll go over to the dimension tool. I'm going to say from this line to this line, right? I don't want it to be 41 degrees. I want it to be 30 degrees, right? Now I have a perfectly dimensioned portion. The other piece that I'm hoping you're seeing is we want this piece to kind of go away. So you can do this a few different ways. You could take the trim and get it away that way, right? The other piece that you can do is actually make them construction lines. So if instead of this I wanted a construction line, I could do that. However, that's more work in my opinion, so I'm going to use the trim. Okay, so at this point we have the path, right? We have the path. Again, if you want to make these constructions, you can do that as well. We would click here and, oh, I'm still trimming. That's why that was happening. Get out of the trim tool. I'm going to right click this and make this a construction line, right click this and make this a construction line. In this instance, we don't want this feature to be closed because this is the path of our hook, right? Okay, it's the path of our hook. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come out here. I'm going to go on the right side view and draw a sketch. From here, we're going to go to the origin. This is why I had you do that. You could start up here if you wanted to. You could go really anywhere you want. And it's a 1.5 millimeter circle. I know this because I've already looked at the drawing, but you can see that it's 1.5 millimeters right there, right? And you can see that my circle is not actually in the path that I want, right? So this was the reason I had the actual origin down here, because I think it makes more sense for you to do that and place this circle, right? Instead of doing this right here where it's not in the path, I'm going to move this down here at the origin, right, where it is in the path. Okay, so now we're going to apply the sweep function. Applying the sweep function is literally hitting the sweep. It says, what faces do you want? Well, this is my face. What's the path? I'm actually going to select the entire path, right? And that's going to give me my hook, right? 30 degrees. This is all separate. Boom. Love that. We have a nice looking hook. Okay. So from here, this is where we're going to actually have a variety of different ways to do this, right? We can start with the threads or we can do the point. I'm going to start with the point because I think that makes the most sense. But at the end of the day, it actually doesn't matter. So you can see that there is sweep detail again over here, right? And basically, this thread is just a triangle that is swept around in a circular manner, in a cylindrical motion. Okay, so when I go back into my design here, we have two things we need to do. We need to make this a point, right? And then we also need to make this spiral all the way around. Okay, so a chamfer actually makes the most sense for this piece because I can just cut. I can cut all the way down with a distance and an angle because that's what this says. 0.75 millimeters at 45 degrees, and that's going to make the perfect. So 0.75 millimeters, and then at 45 degrees, there I go. I now have a point, right? Eye hook's starting to look really good. Now we see that I have my threads, right? This says my threads go, CW means clockwise, 5 revolutions in 6 millimeters. Basically, I want this to go around 5 times in 6 millimeters, right? So a lot of you may be thinking, wow, how am I going to calculate that? There's a tool for that. Onshape's going to make this very easy. If you click this cylindrical portion, right, we're going clockwise. We want this to go 6 times around. It was 6 times, right? No, 5 times in 6 millimeters. Sorry. So I want this to go 5 times, right? 5 times. There we go. And here, we probably actually want height and turn, right? So we want 6 millimeters and we want it to go 5 times around this cylinder. So where's my circular edge from here, right? So right now it's going the wrong way. So we're going to make it go that way. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, so right now I have where I want the thread to be, but it's currently not there, right? So we can do a sketch directly on this. If we look, this is where sweep detail B comes in. This says 0.2 times 3. What that means is this is a triangle. So I'm going to come out here. I'm going to make a sketch on the front view. Right? I'm going to grab the line tool. It doesn't matter where you do this as long as you do it somewhere near the actual path, right? So I'm going to dimension one of these lines to be 0.2 because that's what it said to do. 0.2. There we go. And then I'm going to apply the equal tool because that makes my life way easier. And then I don't have to redimension anything. Now, I'm going to take that equilateral triangle and I'm going to apply sweep again. What's the face? Right there. What's the path? It's my helix, right? So I'm going to grab that helix right there, right? There's my threads. So it is a very complicated object, absolutely, but I'm hoping that this allows you to actually see how we can change this complicated piece to make it a little bit easier. This is stainless steel, so I'm going to do that quick and then I'll just rename it. So we have the eye hook, and I'm going to make sure that we do the appearance of stainless steel. We are all done. This series, we can do stainless steel, hit the green check. You can make it gray if you want, you can make it clear, whichever makes the most sense. Hopefully this video helps. Keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing what you do.